I am 3 years sober today. And as I hit those year milestones, it feels different every time. I remember year one, it was just, I felt so accomplished. I felt so proud of myself. I just felt on top of the world because if you've seen any of my videos, you know how hard it was for me to actually get sober for more than like 4 or 5 days. Never mind make it an entire week. It was the best feeling. Year two, I was excited, and I think the reality hit me of like, wow, I'm really doing this. Like, I'm really going to be a sober person. I can do this. And now at year three, I feel very thankful, but it also feels just like another day. People have asked me, "Oh, what are you going to do to celebrate?" And I'm like, "Well, nothing. It's just another day." And for me that's huge because being sober now, it just feels normal. It's part of my everyday life, my everyday routine. It's just who I am. I'm not Beth the alcoholic, Beth the party girl, Beth that likes to get drunk. I'm just Beth living my best life, making choices on a daily basis, staying consistent to be the best version of myself that I can be. So here's what I've learned in my 3 years of sobriety. First and foremost, I've learned that whatever you're feeling, especially in early recovery, it's so temporary. It's literally here today and gone tomorrow. The feelings don't last forever. The FOMO doesn't last forever. The future tripping doesn't last forever. It's all so temporary, but it is 1,000% worth pushing through because what's on the other side of it is so rewarding. And that's where the change comes when you push through something, when you use self discipline. That's where your thinking changes. That's where your self confidence builds that I can actually do this. I can be a sober person and enjoy my life. In the future tripping, it is literally the biggest waste of time and energy because I know all those trips I would stress about. How am I going to go to weddings? How am I going to go to parties? How am I going to go to Christmas things, Thanksgiving? How am I going to do all these things without drinking? How am I ever going to be happy? It just that way our mind goes, how we spiral when we future trip. It literally is a waste of time because when I was actually faced with these situations, it was nothing like I thought it was going to be. In almost every situation, it was easier than I thought it was going to be. It wasn't easy, but I got through it and I realized that that wasn't so bad. And it really works your sober muscles. It makes you stronger and it builds you up for the next event. If you've had a rough day where it just seems like everything's gone wrong, whether it's outside circumstances, maybe results from choices you've made, whatever it is, and it just has you screaming to drink, it has you so triggered, but you don't drink, you fight through it, you go to bed, you're still pissed off. That is still a win. That is a win for the bigger picture in your sobriety because you didn't drink. I've also learned that you have to start a new structure, a new routine, and you have to create new habits. How you break a habit is by replacing it with a new one. And the cool thing about that is over time, that becomes your new normal. Whereas drinking felt so normal to you, when you replace it with something else, that thing you replaced it with is now what's going to feel like this is what I should be doing, to the point that if you're not doing it, it feels abnormal. So how when you first quit, you felt like you were crawling out of your skin when you weren't drinking. If you were an evening drinker in the evenings, it felt so awkward. That new habit you create, if you don't do it, you feel that same awkward feeling. It literally flips. And lastly, the goals you have, the things you want to accomplish, I can almost guarantee you that they are on the other side of quitting drinking. You will accomplish those things in sobriety because you have a clear mind, you're motivated, you're showing up, and you're consistent. And that's when things change. My life hasn't been perfect in the last 3 years. It's been far from it. I've had to deal with a lot of external things that are completely out of my control. But getting sober is still one of the greatest decisions I've ever made in my life. Not the greatest, but definitely pretty close to it. So if you've been contemplating sobriety, you feel like you need to quit, whatever it is, just know that it's possible, because I never, 3 years ago, starting out this journey, I never imagined that I would be where I am today.